The electric chair is a relatively simple contraption composed of little more than wood, leather straps, and electrical wiring. Yet it's one of the most reliable execution devices of modern times, as gruesome as it is effective.
All right, buddy.
It's time.
Hang in there. Be brave, Pete. Be brave.
Even the most hardened criminal can't escape the fear of knowing he's about to die. The man behind bars would be next to take that long, lonely walk. But for now, another man had an appointment to keep. An appointment booked by a judge and jury. The straps are to keep the body down to receive the powerful charge. The blindfold goes back to the days of the firing squad. For electrocutions, it also holds the eyes in place. The final touch, and now all that remains is the lever.
Time.
Within days, it would be time for this man to take his seat in the death chamber. Raymond Michael Edmonston, convicted of first-degree murder. It was attorney Lee Calvin's first case as public defender. He believed in the innocence of his client, but he couldn't convince the state. Ray Edmonston's execution was drawing closer. There was a meal, and then a walk back to his solitary cell, where he would have time to think about the circumstances that brought him to this point, and how much different his future might have been. A future that right now had only a few hours left.
Sorry, Ray. I did my best.
It's okay. You did what you could do.
Okay, Ray, back to the cell.
Two eyewitnesses had identified Ray as the man they saw gun down the owner of a convenience store. There was no physical evidence. The weapon used to commit the murder was never found. Ray had no alibi. Calvin had no defense.
Yeah, come on.
It's time, Ray.
Ray Michael Edmonston was a Vietnam vet, drafted out of school. After he came back to the States, he lived on the streets, one of the thousands of homeless. For months after his arrest, he had proclaimed his innocence. Then gradually he started to realize nobody was listening. Now the only emotion he had left was the one he was trying to hide: fear.
Test! Good. Bring in the prisoner.
Hold on. It's all right.
He's ready.
Time. Check it. All right? Again. Take him back to his cell.
What his lawyer couldn't do had been accomplished by fate. Edmonston was granted a 24-hour reprieve. Prison officials worked all night and found no electrical defect.
It's time, Ray.
At the exact same moment the execution failed, another crime was taking place. In the city where Ray had been arrested, a gunman was caught holding up a liquor store. Detectives called to the scene of the robbery were the same ones who had investigated Ray's case. They were startled by the resemblance of the robbery suspect to Ray. Even before the ballistic tests were completed, the gunman confessed to the murder for which Ray had spent more than 6 years behind bars. 2 days before his 50th birthday, Ray was free to make something of his life at last. Could this story be true? Could an electrical system that was working flawlessly suddenly fail at the moment of execution? Twice? And consider the fact that Ray Edmonston was innocent. Because of that, some might consider the power failure to be divine intervention. Or is the explanation as simple as those mornings when your car engine won't turn over for several times, and then suddenly kicks right in? Or that bulb in your house that only goes on when it wants to?